Hey, let's talk about pull-ups, okay? The pull-up variation is quite wide and it can easily accommodate everybody's needs. Now, I would say the most advanced pull-up would be the one where your feet are dangling in the air and you're pulling yourself up to the bar. It should be chin above the bar. So that is the standard of the movement. Now, your feet touching the floor would be the next scalable movement, and then we would have either toenail pull-ups or jumping pull-ups. The toenail pull-ups are a very hard variation, I would say, but they're really good to teach you how to get into that position. Now, from there, we would have the jumping pull-ups, and then the last but not least would be the TRX rows. I'd say TRX rows are most accessible to everybody, especially if they're a beginner, but it is in that direct scaling order. And if you see it on the board, don't just automatically assume it's pull-ups for everybody. You have to see where everybody is at. And when you're presenting an exercise with such a degree of difficulty, you always have to give also all the variations, right? As I mentioned, like pull up from the floor, a toenail or jumping pull-ups, and then TRX rows. If you want to make your life easier, if you have people that obviously don't do full pull-ups, you can ask them, will anybody be doing complete or full pull-ups here? And they will say no. Okay, and then go to the next scaling version down. Now, what I want to tackle here is the idea of pull-up itself, because in order to achieve a pull-up or any form of upper body strength, you need to control your core. And this is something we keep like hammering down a lot, because jumping pull-up, for example, is not just you going under a bar and jumping up to the bar. It has to be done in a certain way. So if I would have to talk about the jumping pull-up first, or even a full pull-up, let's say I would pull myself up here, right? What I want to do here is maintain my core engaged. So when I come up into this pull-up, to maintain my core tucked in here, feet together, and then I come up, I'm trying to maintain that core throughout. And this is the same thing I'm trying to do in the jumping pull-up. I'm not just jumping up like this, right? So you want to have about 6 inches from the bar in a standing position, so that when you're here, you actually have much more to travel to. Now, the whole idea here is you have to have your feet apart and you're tucking your tailbone in, right? Which is easy. This is easily done when you're in this position. The problem is when they go up, they're gonna start doing this. That's not a proper jumping pull-up. The jumping pull-up is here, you come up, you're maintaining that tension through your core, and then you're bringing the barbell towards you, the bar towards you. So when I'm coming up and down, I'm staying engaged throughout, as opposed to breaking the midsection. So I hope that helps. I'm gonna show you now the toenail pull-up. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of a side view. Now the barbell for me should be about chin level, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring it a little bit higher up, so that when I'm down on my knees, I can actually extend my arms. So you're gonna come obviously behind the bar, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go all down in my knee, and then my feet are literally on my toenails. So I'm not tucked with my toes in, the nail is touching the shoe, the nail, right? Now from here, I'm gonna come all the way down, and what I'm gonna do, again, I'm gonna do that hollow hold position. I would say that this is harder than the jumping pull-up. I mean, I find this very hard, to be honest. So you're coming here, and what you're going to do now, you're going to bend the bar and pull yourself up, getting very little strength from your nails, from your, from your toes. So when you're coming like here, like this, you're literally pulling yourself up, as opposed to going here, and then again, doing other funny businesses. So it's not about that. Again, if you ever see the toenail pull-up, this is it, and it's not something to take lightly. I find them specifically hard. So I'm going to show you again. Come here, under here, tucked in, right? You're pulling yourself up just with a little less range. Now I want to show the TRX row because there's some points of performance you want to be looking at there too. So hopefully this is a good, okay. So with this one, what I tell the clients is the more you go under, and obviously this is the easiest form we have for the row or pulling form. So it can be used for beginners or people that really haven't developed the strength to do toenail pull-ups or jumping pull-ups or anything like that. So you want to pull in, and then from here, you want to make sure you're tucking your tailbone in. The whole foot is down onto the floor, chest is out. You want to go into that full extension and then back down. What you'll see is people rounding up, doing this, losing the tension in the bar. You might also see people that have only their heels on the floor, and you might also see people that completely relax at the bottom. No. The wrist needs to be straight. You need to drive your elbow into your rib cage so that you engage your lats, because ultimately it's a back exercise. And then you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together, right? So again, we're coming into that inverted plank position. We're not relaxing. We're keeping our tailbone in, our butt squeezed, chest is out, elbows in and out. Okay? And obviously making it hard, same thing, in and out. I think that's it in terms of pulling variation. We normally do, this is a pull-up, this is a chin-up. So there are different names for them. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions.